So let's take a look at Sanskrit. So you can repeat after me. Om.
Om.
The complete whole.
The complete whole.
Purnam.
Purnam.
Perfectly complete.
Perfectly complete.
Adaha.
Adaha.
That. Purnam.
Purnam.
Perfectly complete.
Perfectly complete.
Idam.
Idam.
This phenomenal world.
This phenomenal world.
Purnat.
Purnat.
From the all perfect.
From the all perfect.
Purnam.
Purnam.
Complete unit.
Complete unit.
Udachyate.
Udachyate.
Produced.
Produced.
Purnasya.
Purnasya.
Of the complete whole.
Of the complete whole.
Purnam.
Purnam.
Completely all.
Completely all.
Adaya.
Adaya.
Having been taken away.
Having been taken away.
Purnam.
Purnam.
The complete balance.
The complete balance.
Eva.
Eva.
Even.
Even.
Avashishyate.
Avashishyate.
Is remaining.
Is remaining.
And now we can just chant all together the same mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam.
Purnat Purnamudachyate.
Purnat Purnamudachyate.
Purnasya Purnamadaya.
Purnasya Purnamadaya.
Purnameva Vashishyate.
Purnameva Vashishyate.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam.
Om Purnamidam Purnamidam.
Purnat Purnamudachyate.
Purnam Purnamudachyate.
Purnasya Purnamadaya.
Purnasya Purnamadaya.
Purnameva Vashishyate.
Purnameva Vashishyate.
Yeah, so just for those who just arrived here in the temple, you take the translation one more time. The personality of God is perfect and complete, and because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as a complete whole. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete by itself, and because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. Yeah. So this is a very absolute description of the Lord. Yeah. And hence Prabhupada starts his purport also like this. It says, the complete whole, or the supreme absolute truth, is the complete personality of Godhead. Impersonal Brahman forms an incomplete realization of the absolute complete, and so also does the conception of Paramatman, the Supersoul. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Satchidananda Vigraha. Impersonal Brahman realization is the realization of his Sat, or eternity aspect, and Paramatman, Supersoul realization, is the realization of his Sat and Chit, eternity and knowledge aspect, but realization of the Personality of Godhead is the realization of the transcendental features, Sat, Chit, and Ananda, or bliss. In the personal concept that this is realized in the complete form, Vigraha, and so the complete whole is not formless. If he is formless, or if he is less than his creation in any other thing, he cannot be complete. The complete whole must have everything, both within our experience and beyond our experience. Otherwise, he cannot be complete. Yeah. So let's see if we can navigate through this. I'll actually, since I found this nice feature on the PDF on YouTube, I can write the text. I don't figure out how to do that on the Zoom, but if some of you look also on YouTube, you can see I will write the text there. But anyway, it's already there in the comment. I just wanted to highlight this. We have 3 types of realizations mentioned here. This is Brahman and Paramatma and Bhagavan. Yeah. So these are successive or chronological realizations. Does anybody start immediately with Bhagavan realization on this path of Bhakti Yoga? Okay, you're pointing to each other. That's very nice. From the day you were born, you had Bhagavan realization. Actually, it is said that it is possible. For example, those who were part of the Chaitanya Lila, yeah, they can. Somebody was meeting Chaitanya already when he was a child. Yeah, but that means one has previous bhakti samskaras. One was already devoted in the previous life, and start off where one left off. Maybe somebody else left off at Paramatma realization. Somebody left off at Brahman realization, and somebody, they were just ignorant. You can say. So this is a category where I personally come from, completely ignorant. Yeah. Uma Gyana Timrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya. Yeah. We're born in the darkness of the ignorance. But we're getting the medicine of knowledge from the Guru. Yeah. Gyananjana Shalakaya Shakshu Unmilitamyana. He's giving us this to our blind eyes so we can get our eyes opened. Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yeah. So invocation is a good concept to have before any scripture is starting. As I was asked here by Prabhu before he recited, he said, shouldn't we say, or he was a question, should we say Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya? And it's the correct question, because we should say something before any kind of scriptural, discussion. You're not just jumping immediately into the scripture without any formalities whatsoever. Of course, if you're on the Mahabhagavat platform, you can do. It says if you're on the Bhagavan platform, you're already seeing the smiling face of Krishna. And you just say, hey Krishna, hey Radha. So that's Hare Krishna platform actually. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. One immediately just addressing the Lord. Just looking immediately at the face of the Lord. But for the most of us, we have to go gradually to actually realize that. And that's the process of humility. Actually, bhakti starts with humility. Only when we practice bhakti, starting with humility, then the Lord is actually starting to get attentive to our case. And he thinks, okay, I'll help this jiva to solve his or her, material case. Because there is humility there and there is bhakti. Yeah. And how does the humility start? By having a little bit of a nice address, invocation. So even before we chant Hare Krishna, are we asked to maybe chant something else? Yes, Panchatattva mantra. Yeah. So that's another way also to kind of clear the field before starting, addressing the Lord directly. Yeah. And another way is also to have, guru, to have sadhu, to have, the association. In that way also, make the field proper for planting and nourishing the Bhakti Lata beach. If you just grab the Gita or grab the Bhagavatam, grab the Chaitanya Charitamrita, grab the Īśopaniṣad and just start reading, and don't want to, have any formalities, no protocol, just chant and do whatever you want. We may make a little, advancement simply just by association with the transcendental subject matter. But it said that this will be more like a kind of jnana mishra bhakti, will be mixed with jnana. And the progress in actual bhakti will be very slow. Because actual bhakti, after all, is only bhakti yoga. It's not jnana mishra bhakti or karma mishra bhakti. So jnana yoga or karma yoga can take us to that end goal, which is bhakti yoga. Yeah. So to address the Lord for who he is a very good start. So Prabhupada is saying here that he is realized in 3 stages. So it's also sometimes misunderstood, the 3 stages. Let's see if we can understand them ourselves, if you're lucky, by Paramatma's grace. Yeah. So I'll write in parentheses here on the YouTube, one will see. I write Brahman, and then it said, if you realize Brahman, you realize, what was it? Anybody paid attention to the text?
The absolute complete.
Yeah. Yeah, but what was in terms of Sat, Chit, and Ananda? Hare Krishna. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Which aspect did one realize when one realized Brahman? Is it Ananda? Is it Chit or is it Sat?
It's Sat.
Sat, yeah, very good. So what is that? What is Sat? Eternity.
Brahman. Yeah, eternal.
Yeah. Good. And let's look at Paramatma. If you would realize the super soul in your heart, what would you realize in terms of the spiritual qualities, energies?
Shit.
Paramatma.
Paramatma, yes. What aspects of the three energies of the Lord would you realize? Would you realize Sat, Chit, Ananda? One of them, two of them, three of them? Yeah?
Two of them. Sat and Chit.
Sat and Chit. Very good. And what do they mean? They mean?
Eternity and knowledge.
Okay. Eternity and knowledge. Yeah. See. That's very good. So, and then what about Bhagavan? What do we realize when we realize Bhagavan?
It is the eternal bliss, Ananda.
Okay, so we only realize Ananda when we realize Bhagavan? Yeah?
I think so. Like,
Okay, any other options?
Full realization of
Yeah, full realization, what does that mean? Purnam, yeah?
Well, I think it is maybe a little difficult to actually tell, but we say it's the eternal part, the knowledge part, and the blissful part.
Ah,
Such it, Ananda.
so you are saying not only Ananda?
There's also rasa, but that is very difficult to speak generally about. But
Okay, but what if I ask just from the purport? Not outside, the text, but actually, what does the text say? when you realize Bhagavan, what do you realize?
it is the eternal part,
Yeah.
the knowledge part, and the Ananda part.
Okay, so what is that in Sanskrit? For those of us who wants to have it.
it's Vigraha, the complete form.
Yeah, but which parts? You mentioned here before we have Sat and Chit. And what is it now?
Ananda.
Ananda. Okay, only Ananda, yeah? Everybody agree? You realize only Ananda when you realize Bhagavan?
Yeah, because then we know who we are. Like, we have self-realization that we are the soul.
But I'm a little unsure about that one, because according to the text, the Prabhupada says, but realization of the personality of God is realization of all the transcendental features. Sat, Chit, and Ananda.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you have eternality, you're also eternal. And you also have full knowledge. And you have Ananda. Yeah? Sounds good?
It's just sounding little confusing. Like, we are talking about our existence and then the God, and I'm getting confused now.
Sorry, I just missed. What is the confusion? Yeah?
The confusion is when we realize that God is is everything, is a complete whole. And we also realize that we are only souls, and then after that it's only Anand. Like,
No, you see, this is the impersonal understanding. The personal understanding is that at the time of Bhagavan realization, we are getting, we're getting, delivered, the spiritual, body, yeah, and that is called the Vigraha, yeah. So in that way, it will contain everything.
So
not only Anand. Yeah. So not only Anand. It will be a body, with senses, just like we have senses here. The thing about Brahman realization, I'll write that again. Brahman. There you are right. It's just it's just a realization of the happiness with Brahman, Brahmananda. Yeah. But that's for Brahman realization. There will be no rupa there, no form. We agree. But in Bhagavan realization, there will actually be the rupa. So I can write that also even. I can write Vigraha here. Yeah.
Okay.
Eternity, knowledge, and bliss form. Yeah. Or bliss body, even you can say. Eternity, knowledge, and bliss body. Yeah. So, in other words, it's a sensual experience. Isn't that amazing? It's an experience. I think we talked yesterday about, Pratyaksha, Anuman, and Shabda. We take Shabda Pramanam, and, with Shabda Pramanam or the sound, the law, authoritative, utterances from the scriptures, then this is our main pramana or evidence. Yeah. But entering into that, you will have another pratyaksha, and that will be, the spiritual pratyaksha with spiritual senses. Yeah. We don't go too much into that, but that's actually what's happening, because you have a vigraha there. That's beyond the scope, actually, of this book, because this book is just introducing the concept of spiritualism. Yeah. As Upanishads usually do. They talk about how you can reach, the spiritual realization, but the details that you may have to find elsewhere. Yeah. Does it make sense? The
Bhagwan realization is like the ultimate. Only few people can reach there.
Only few people are observed to reach there, but can reach there. Everybody can reach there. Yep. Because it is, it's the jiva has that possibility to realize Bhagavan. Yep. But as I said before, one cannot immediately realize Bhagavan. One has to go through Brahman and Paramatma realization, and then end up at Bhagavan. Yeah.
May I have a question?
Please, yes.
Should I say it? Because I'm wondering, what does it mean to actually realize these different aspects? Because maybe the Satan shit, you can realize eternity. I can maybe a little bit understand that.
Yeah.
And you can also realize knowledge, but to realize Bhagavan seems very, very mystic.
It is really mystical. That's very well said. It is coming from one's guru. It is technically explained. It's like this. It's through our mind we are getting, our material body. Yeah, it's a deha external to us. If the mind is infused with bhakti samskaras, we're practicing bhakti yoga. We can we can get the spiritual body instead of the material body. Does it make sense? If you can just accept that concept, that through the vehicle of the mind we are getting, our gross body, yeah, flesh, blood, bones, 5 tanmatras, 5 sense objects are experienced through the stula sharira. But the stula sharira is coming from the sukshma sharira, from the subtle body, yeah. And why is the subtle body producing the gross body? It's because of samskaras in there. That I see a car, I want this car. I see a job, I want this job. One wants the sex life, one wants the enjoyment through the sense, one wants to eat this, touch this, and that creates the stula sharira. Yeah, But in the same way, if one now starts viewing Krishna, one wants to be with Krishna, one wants to, touch Krishna, be in the same place as Krishna, have part, in the association there, then that will create eventually, the siddha there, or the spiritual body. Yep. But to be inspired to do that, one needs to be inspired by the guru. Just like in the material world, how do we get inspired by anything? We just see somebody, we see somebody and we think this person is enjoying, right? Wow, such an enjoyment. The person has a nice car, nice house, nice career, nice, husband or wife, nice children. This is my inspiration. This is my guru. Actually, the mind will consider this person to be, in Norwegian it's called forbilde. Yeah. What's called in English? Forbilde. Yeah.
Role model?
Role model, yeah. And then one starts, grinding. One starts working hard, going to the gym, building up oneself, taking good care of one's health, one's looks, pushing one's career in all kinds of ways. With the aim, with the goal to get there. So goal is called sadhya. I can write that here also, because that's very central. You will get to hear that later. Sadhya as a goal, yeah. And how do you get the goal? By sadhana. Yeah. You can call that, practice. Yeah. So actually that also works in the material field. But imagine if you found a guru. Guru can be any devotee. Yeah. Doesn't need to be, having 3 dandas and 1,000 disciples. Just anybody you're inspired by who happens to be a devotee. Then you think, I'd like to be like that. And then one starts sadhana bhakti, right? Adav shraddha tata sadhu sangha. One starts associating with devotees, one has faith, and one does bhajana kriya, practice. That's the same as sadhana bhakti. And then something special happens, it's called anartha nivritti. The heart becomes purer and purer. And gradually then one will actually start to have the realizations. So that's the realization you're talking about, Prabhu. To get the realizations in the heart, it takes practice, sadhana, together with anartha nivritti. And in that way, one gets, steady, nishta, and then one gets ruchi, one gets, some taste. And in that taste is also realizations. Yeah. Just like you have, in the spirit, in the material life then. Say if I work very hard, I do my sadhana because I have a material goal. And then say I get some money, for example. Money and fame, that's usually the 2 things. Money, fame, and sense gratification. That's usually 3 things. Yeah. When one get that, do you taste it? Yes, you taste it with your senses and the mind. The mind is tasting it. So that is, ruchi from the material side. One's getting taste. So then you realize, this was very good, I did this material sadhana. Now I'm enjoying my material goal. It's tasting very good. And I just get greedy, lobha. I just want to continue and get higher, more taste, more money, more followers, more, success, whatever. So that's realizations. So in the same way in spiritual life, that's going to become the pure, counterpart to that. We practice, we chant, and we get more and more taste for Krishna, for anything that has to do with, the purity of Krishna's consciousness. It's very tasty. It is very good for the mind. It's soothing the mind. One feels happiness, peacefulness. And in that way, one gets a realization of Brahman. One starts with Brahman, because Brahman is giving all this peacefulness, happiness. It's coming also from Brahman. But then it continues, next after that, it continues into the Paramatma realization. If one wants to continue, many people, they just choose to stop there at Brahman realization because there is something called elimination of distress there. Kleshagni, the distress is destroyed. That's also one of the effects of just doing Bhakti Yoga also. But one feels, the pain is going away. But actually, the Brahman realization, usually the Buddhists talk about is just that one stops feeling anything in the mind. The mind is just dissolved. The mind just stops functioning, and one is just existing. One just feels, the eternal existence. So that's the one we're talking about here, actually. It's just the feeling of eternality. Yeah. So in that way, it's one doesn't even feel anything in the mind there, because actually at that point the mind has, gone blank. Yeah, and we don't want that. In Bhakti Yoga, we don't want that. Right? We don't want to make our mind still. We want to fill the mind with Krishna and Krishna's rasas. As I think Prabhu also mentioned, it starts with Shanta rasa. So one can have, that in Brahman realization. The two, okay, just to make it clear, there are two kinds of Brahman realization, or impersonal realization, you can say. One is for the Brahmavadis, and one is for Mayavadis, or Buddhists. So Mayavadis or Buddhists, they just want to make the mind, clear and still and just merge. Yeah, Brahmavadis also wants to enjoy the Brahman, but they're not, also at the same time not rejecting the Lord. If they continue as Brahmavadis, they will also start realizing Paramatma and Bhagavan. And the example which is always, pulled out from the Acharyas is the example of the four Kumaras. I should have had that verse here, but anyway, it's in the Bhagavatam. When the four Kumaras are going up to Vaikuntha, the story, they meet the two doorkeepers there, Jai and Vijay. We'll not get into that story, but it's described that the four Kumaras, they were there, and then also Vishnu came along. And even before Vishnu came, they were smelling the tulsi leaves which were offered to the lotus feet of Vishnu. And simply that smell took them higher than the Brahmavadi realization and had. They were on the Brahman realization, it was explained. But they got higher because of, just having the sense experience of smelling the tulsi leaves from the lotus feet of the Lord. So in other words, if we can have some spiritual experience, then we'll go beyond the Brahman realization, we will go to Paramatma. We're talking about spiritual experience of the Lord. Yeah. Is it a little bit more clear now?
Yes, thank you. I have a little bit almost follow-up question, but I don't really want to take all your time if you have a lot of time.
Today the purport is very short, actually. Today it's really, it's supposed to be a thorough discussion today. Yeah, because the purport is very short. Next page and it's finished. So we're going to discuss thoroughly today, so just go ahead.
Okay, it's just a follow-up on the realization of first eternality. It seems one who is in the Paramatma's understanding, he could be said to know everything, right? He's like, any question you will asking, he will know the answer.
Well, that sounds all very well and good, but he will only get what Paramatma is, giving to him, yeah, at that time. It's not that he is now, a Trikala Gyan necessarily, one of those past, present, and future. The explanation is that he is ready to know everything because the Lord is with him. The Lord is, the Lord is favorable to him because he's been accepted as a dear servant of the Lord. So he's the Lord's man, yeah, or woman. So in that way, Paramatma can now, use that person to guide others and tell truths, which, the truths may come from Paramatma directly. But that's different than, say the example we often are giving. Say you have the guru. So you have like the great guru has so many disciples, know everything, the guru is revealing so many things, and people are just amazed, And then they could put the guru, and they think this guru can do everything. It's like Superman. So they go down to the car. Some devotee's car was broken down. Now, guru, you know everything. You can help fix this car. No, the guru will be like, no, this is not my field. It has been like a very great, thing that proves who is a real guru. Actually, it is when the guru doesn't know. He will say, I don't know. He will say, this is not my field. You go and ask an expert. That's the actual guru, okay? He will say, I don't know anything about cars. Go and ask the car mechanic. Or, do you know all the different types of bananas in Africa? No, he doesn't know that. Ask somebody who knows. Very, very often I've seen that gurus, they are saying actually, because people have a misconception about the guru. We have to study Guru Tattva also to understand that. The guru will just say, here I have to say stop, the guru will say, because this is not my field. So don't waste my time. I mean, it depends on which guru, but sometimes the guru can say even, don't waste my time asking all these questions. It has nothing to do with the process of Bhakti Yoga. The process of Bhakti Yoga, that's my field, the Guru will say. You can ask anything that has to do with Bhakti. Then I'm ready to answer. You want to ask, some other philosophies, even, or anything else, the Guru may not be, ready to answer that. Unless he has studied them, of course. Very often the Guru knows a little bit about everything. Yeah.
Thank you. That is a very nice answer.
Thank you. Yeah. So I just wanted to look a little bit about the verse itself, because it's a very nice verse, which it's one of the verses we are required to remember as part of the Bhakti Shastri. Because it really, it gives a very nice, explanation of the absolute nature of the Lord. So he is complete, and even you take something, out from him, it still remains the same complete. Something like the ocean, you may say. Say if you go and take some water from the ocean. Does it minimize the ocean in any way? No, because the ocean is so big. And also, here also Purnam, it signifies unlimited, yeah, or infinite, yeah, that it doesn't have any end. Because you can say also when people are serving you prasadam, you can say, do you want anything more? And then you can say Purnam, I'm full, yeah. But here is a different meaning, yeah, because when we say we are full, does it mean we are unlimited? No. When we say full, it means we cannot fit anything more, right? So just to make that clear, there is a different notion of full or purnams. So here it means unlimitedly full, and that's why we have the Sad Aishvarya Purnam. That the Lord is Sad Aishvarya Purnam. He's full in the 6 opulences. You probably heard that before, yeah? Aishvaryasya Samagrasya. He's full in the he's the most rich. Viryasya Yashashaha Shriyaha. He's the most powerful. He's the most famous. Shreya, he's the most beautiful. Yeah. Jnana Varagyayos. He is also the most knowledgeable and also the most renounced. Sannam Bhagam Itingana. So these are the 6 opulences of the Lord. Sad Aishvarya Purna is another term for that. He's full in the 6 opulences. Does that mean that the Lord has a full bank account that cannot get any fuller? No, he can get unlimitedly full. Actually, it's always filled up more and more. Yeah, it's an unlimited bank account. And when we talk about the beauty of the Lord, does it mean that the Lord has now become Mr. Universe and he cannot become any more beautiful? No, it's just continuing the beauty. When we talk about strength of the Lord, does it mean he can no longer become any stronger because he's full in the strength? No, it means he's unlimitedly strong. Even with renunciation, can he be any more renounced? Yes, he can. Unlimitedly so. So let's see. I made some notes here also about this. Yeah. Yeah. That was all I had to say. Yeah, actually, it also appears in other. It appears in the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad also. It's also the invocation there. Yeah. It's often to be found in scriptures. You have verses they are appearing many places. Yeah. And both of these Upanishads, they are from the Shukla Yajurveda. Yeah. Okay, so any further questions, or we will go on to the next paragraph? Yep. I'll read. The complete whole personality of Godhead has immense potencies, and all of them are as complete as he is. Therefore, this phenomenal or material world is also complete by itself. The 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation are completely adjusted to produce complete things subsistence of this universe. No extraneous effort by any other unit is required for this maintenance. So do the Lord need any help? Yes or no? No? Absolutely no? Yeah, absolutely no. Yes. He is full, okay? Did you got that? He is full. It's like, if sometimes we are doing something and we think we're doing it quite nice, and somebody comes and asks, do you need any help? And we're like, no, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. So same thing with the Lord. He doesn't need anybody's help. He really knows what he's doing. We may say we know what we're doing out of a sense of pride, or that we feel full, but that's actually just kind of a reflection of the Lord, who is actually full, but we are actually minute. We are actually not so full. Anyway, so the universe has its own time, fixed by the energy of the complete whole. And when that time is complete, this temporary manifestation will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete. So does that make you feel small? It should. Yeah. So with this verse, we are getting the sense that we are very, very small. And in that sense, we can understand, our situation as just a small part of the whole scheme of the Lord. Yeah. So next paragraph, there is complete facility for the small complete units, namely the living beings, to realize the complete. And all forms of incompleteness are experienced only on account of incomplete knowledge of the complete. Yeah. So if we feel any incompleteness in our life, that's because of incomplete knowledge. Isn't that also a little comforting to hear? Because that means that all our sorrow, all our feeling, despair, distress, incompleteness, worthiness, we feel we are not worthy, we're unsuccessful, we are not, fully, in any of these opulences. We're not a completely rich person, not a complete renounced, we're not a complete beautiful, not complete knowledgeable, not completely, not completely, strong. That's okay, because we are jivas. It's not expected that we are, complete. It's a relief, isn't it? Yeah, it's a relief.
Even better.
What do you say?
We can also be very happy for our very good friend Krishna, who is very rich and very beautiful and everything.
Exactly. That's the point. Thank you. So that means that if we stay away from Krishna and we just go around, feeling our incompleteness, then we may be depressed. But if we team up with Krishna, then we may feel very happy because, he's just, our master, and we're supposed to be his, servant. And in that way, there is no problem because he has created us like this. So in one sense, you can say it's his, arrangement, whatever we are. So it's only when we are, separated from the Lord by this function called ignorance, avidya. So how to get away from avidya? By reading Īśopaniṣad. Yeah. That's how we get away from avidya. And it's not just something I say, it's actually becoming clearer. When we read the first and second, third, fourth verses, it's actually a discussion there about vidya and avidya. And it becomes very clear that by studying Īśopaniṣad, we are getting more and more transcendental knowledge, which is vidya. And the transcendental knowledge is kicking out avidya. Yeah. Yeah. So avidya, it's our shadow, It's our shadow. In that shadow, is all our bad karma. Is our stula sharira, our gross body is there. It's part of our shadow. Sukshma sharira, even our best friend, the mind, is also part of this shadow energy. Yeah.
How can we feel Sukshma sharira then? By meditating?
Yeah, the Sukshma sharira we are feeling all the time because we're thinking. But how to purify it? Yes, that's by meditation. And we put in, bhakti samskaras into the Sukshma sharira, into our, mind. By doing bhakti yoga practices, chanting, hearing, doing seva, these samskaras are going to help our mind, becoming, liberated. Yes?
Sukshma sharira means Kundalini and chakra. That means several chakras.
Yeah, they're dealing with that in Kundalini, of course. But we are doing bhakti yoga, and that's higher than Kundalini. Kundalini is part of our Ashtanga yoga, or you can say the mystical yoga. But bhakti yoga is free from that. It's alone a practice. Yeah. It can use karma, it can use jnana, it can use even yoga, but it's different. It's only about producing the bhava or loving emotions actually. And that can only happen by contacting the guru, serving the guru who already has this. Yep. Okay, so let's see, where were we? Yeah, the human form of life is a complete manifestation of the consciousness of the living being, which is obtained after evolving through 8,400,000 species of life in a cycle of birth and death. If a human being does not realize his completeness within the complete in this life of consciousness, if a human being does not realize his completeness within the complete in this life of full consciousness, he loses the chance of realizing and is put again into the cycle of evolution by the law of material nature. Yeah. So we're talking here, of course, about a human being who is not doing dharma. Yeah. Dharmena hina pashubi samana. If you don't do dharma, then we go down again to the animal life forms. And then, of course, we are put back into the cycle of evolution. That means we're down into animal life forms. However, if you do dharma, if you try to do spiritual life, we will again get a human body, and we can just continue where we left off. Yeah. Because we do not know that there is a complete arrangement in nature for our maintenance. We make efforts to utilize the resources of nature to create a so-called complete life of sense enjoyment. So that means we get a big sofa set, and we decorate our living room for sense enjoyment. And we don't put any altar there. And on the TV, we don't play any kirtan or classes from devotees. We just play any kind of other thing. Yeah, that means to create a so-called complete life of sense enjoyment. Because it's just, it's not complete. Yeah, something is missing. Yeah. So often, preachers, we're saying, just add Krishna. Yeah, do whatever you do. You can keep the sofa set. You can keep the huge TV. Keep, whatever you have. Do whatever you still did. Just add Krishna. We just ask you, just purchase a Bhagavad Gita and just put it in your bookshelf. Add it to your book collection. Put a picture of Krishna. Add it to all the pictures you have on the wall. Yep. That's all we ask. Don't need to throw out anything. Yep. Does it sound good? Yep. So gone is this idea, that I joined Hare Krishna. I have now to shave up, or I have to dress like a nun, and give up everything, and completely just bow down 10,000 times every day. You can do that, it's very good, but you don't necessarily have to do that also. You can just continue living your lifestyle, and gradually you can develop, your consciousness. The consciousness is the main thing.
Yeah. To become a bhakta, pure devotee, it's not necessary to wear the clothes or something like this.
Exactly, you don't need to wear but it's good if you wear,
But most of the pure devotees, 98%, they wear clothes. What's
the
reason behind
it's a good question, thank you. So to wear, I will not make any fun here. Yeah. Since you said to wear the clothes, I said that there are some who doesn't wear clothes also. Naga Babas, yeah.
These Babas come under Ashtanga Yoga.
Yeah, exactly. It's not part of Bhakti Yoga.
This is a Bhakti Yoga.
Yeah. So actually, we have these clothes for the culture. It's a cultural thing. It helps our consciousness to wear, the sattvic clothes. If we don't do that, we may feel, some of the material samskaras may still be there. Yeah, because we buy our clothes in the normal clothes shop, and they have all kinds of maybe not so sattvic influences. Yeah. So especially when we do functions in the temple, we like to wear the Vaishnava clothes because it's tradition.
Rituals.
But strictly speaking, really strictly speaking, it's all about our consciousness, and the clothes are secondary. However, the clothes may help to give us the right consciousness. But Prabhupada said actually, one time he said also, just dress like gentlemen and gentlewomen, yeah? Like dress as nice people, yeah? Gentle people. And he certainly didn't expect that we were, the full, Vaishnava attire in our job place with tilak and everything. He didn't expect that. I mean, if you see pictures of Prabhupada himself, he was just dressing as a normal, Indian gentleman in his job. Yeah. So in that way, we can just see from the example of the lives of the acharyas how practically they were living. Yeah. So there is no pressure. You can wear, according to your own, style. Yeah. But for functions in the temple, then usually that is expected. For example, in anybody going to the altar, they're expected to have, the Vaishnava dress. Yeah.
And many rishis are yogis in Ashtanga Yoga. Even when they go to the Samadhi, then even for some days, 10 or 12 days, many days, but let's assume 10 or 12 days, they go to Samadhi. That means our subtle body is not necessary to have again and again food.
Yeah. I mean, but this is kind of a different discussion. We can talk afterwards about this, if you like. Yeah, because otherwise it strays too much away from the subject matter here. Yeah. Okay. Any comments or questions from the Zoom? Okay. So I'll just take a quick look on our chat from YouTube. There is no messages there. Good. So we'll continue. Where were we? Yeah. Yeah, so because we do not know that there is a complete arrangement in nature for our maintenance, we make efforts to utilize didn't I just read that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I read that one. And then the next one. This misleading life of sense enjoyment is called illusion because the living entity cannot enjoy the life of the senses without being dovetailed with the complete whole. For example, the hand of a body is a complete unit as long as it is attached to the complete body. When the hand is detached from the body, it may appear like a hand, but actually it has none of the potency of the hand. Yeah, it has none of the potency of a hand if it's detached from the body. Is that clear? Yeah. Similarly, living beings are parts and partials of the complete whole, and as long as the parts and partials are detached from the complete whole, the illusory representation of completeness is not enough to bring the desired result. Yeah, let's see if we can digest this. Okay, let's take it again. Similarly, living beings are parts and parcels of the complete whole. Is that clear? Krishna says in Bhagavatam, Amai Vamsha Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. All we are called Jivas or Jiva Bhutas. That means we are Jivas in the material body. He said that Jiva can also be in the spiritual world, then the Jiva is not a Jiva Bhuta. Yeah? We clear? Bhuta means, pertains to the material elements. But actually we are Sanatana, but we are Amsha. We are Amsha. That means we are parts of the Lord. Mama Eva Amsha, Krishna says. Yeah. And then, as long as the parts and partials are detached from the complete whole. So what does it mean to be detached? Far away. Yeah. Removed ourselves. That means we're not thinking about the Lord, basically. Yeah. Where will the connection be? It will obviously be in our mind. Isn't it? Because say even physically you can say one can look like a devotee, dress like a devotee, but if in the mind is completely somewhere else, then for example, I saw in a fun shop, these shops where they sell costumes. I saw they sold Hare Krishna costume. Yeah, So this has been going on, without our knowing. As a Hare Krishna devotees, we didn't know, but they were selling for many years fun costumes of Hare Krishna, so that people on the party, drinking party, they could dress as Hare Krishna, and it was included also, so they look like they're bald, and cartels were included, and they were using this, on the parties to have fun, to look like Hare Krishnas. But then you can ask, are these people, actually Hare Krishnas? Yes or no?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah. But it's imitation. It's just, actually, they may not think about Krishna, right? So in that way, it's not actually the hand. It looks like a hand, but it's not actually a hand. But just to add to this, there was a funny story actually I read. I think it even appeared in the Back to God magazine. Yeah, it did. It was in America. Maybe now it's like 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Some young kids in America were two friends, two teenage boys, They dressed out like Hare Krishna and they were drunk. And they went around asking people for donations, And they had good fun with that, And then actually, after that, they met some devotees, actually. Some devotees were out on Harinam or something like that. And, one of these men, he accepted a book from the devotee. The devotees thought they were funny, they were dressed like, and they started chanting with the devotees, in their fake Hare Krishna uniforms, So the man went back, after this fun evening, he put away his Hare Krishna costume, and he had one of these introduction books. And then he just put the book in his bookshelf and didn't think more about it. After 1 or 2 years, he kind of got into some personal trouble in his life, as everybody does. And he thought, okay, yeah, these Hare Krishnas were not that bad. So he just reading this book, and he thought, wow, this is amazing. And he just saw the address, and he just jumped into his car and drove immediately to the Sunday feast, and he just joined. And he told this story in the Back to God magazine a few years later. So it's a good samskara. So even in jest, it said, even if you chant Hare Krishna in jest, just for fun, just by joking, still one is making progress. So actually, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's definition, as Christopher Prabhu sharply catched, actually there were some kind of devotees, even though they're joking, playing Hare Krishna just for fun, because they actually say the name Hare Krishna. Then, according to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are that's the first stage of being a devotee, actually. Yeah. Okay, so where were we? Let's see, we continue. As long as the parts and partials are detached from the complete whole, the illusory representation of completeness is not enough to bring the desired result. So we can have an illusory representation of completeness. So in that way, we can be dressed up as Hare Krishna. And, even initiated, and, we can have done all kinds of things, services, and but still it may not 100% be complete. When will it be complete? That's the question. Any answers? When will it be Purnam? Yep. Never.
Never.
Is that a, yeah?
When you realize Bhagwan, yeah.
When you realize Bhagavan, very good. So that means, did you go through any other realizations before Bhagavan?
Yeah, Brahman and
Paramatma. Paramatma.
Yeah. Paramatma, yeah.
So it seems like then, okay, so we need to figure out how do we get Brahman realization, right? Because we have to start there, no? Is it right or no? We have to start figuring out how do we get Brahman realization. And then we get Paramatma realization, right? And then Bhagavan, right?
I've been told you don't have to start focusing on Brahma. You can just chant Hare Krishna and immediately get on the direct path.
Just like you're on the Bhagavat level, yep. Actually, it's true. The realizations, you can say the inferior realizations will be included. Just like if you go to a hotel, which is a 5-star hotel, then the 4-star hotels, 3-star hotels, 2-star hotel, 1-star hotel, they're all included. You can say, I mean, it's a bad example. Can you give a better example? If you get 10,000 kroner, is 100 kroner included? Yes. Is 1,000 kroner also included? Yes. So you can say Brahman is 100 kroner. I think I write that down. I thought that was quite good. So say you have 100 kroner, and next one is 1,000 kroner. So 100 kroner is Brahman. Yeah. So hope nobody feels offended by me writing this. It's just for educational purposes, okay? And 10,000 kroner is Bhagavan. Yeah. So there we can really see it. If you have 10,000 kroner, do you have 1,000 kroner? Yes. Do you have also 100 kroner? Certainly. So by Bhagavan realization, you have everything. Yeah. So say for example, somebody, they are focused, I should get 100 kroner, I need to get 100 kroner. But if they're smarter, they instead, I need to get 1,000 kroner, because then 100 kroner will be included, right? Or if you put the goal, I need to have Bhagavan realization, I need to have and then you try to, and when finally you get it, you also have Paramatma and Brahman. You got that also on the way, automatically. Yeah. If you're working hard, you have a goal to get 10,000 kroner to go to India. Then automatically you will also get 100 kroner, you really get 1,000 kroner along the way. You don't even need to think about it, right? So if you chant Hare Krishna, you proceed nicely, together with the Vaishnavas, follow instruction from Guru like that. Bhagavan realization will be delivered to your doorstep, like that. Well, actually it's said that it's delivered by the Guru when the Guru is pleased. Yeah, when the Guru is pleased with the disciple, then he will deliver. Yeah. Guru Krishna Prasada Pai Bhakti Lata Beach, the Guru is already giving the seed. And then we as disciple, we are supposed to water it. Yeah. By our hearing and chanting, we're giving nourishment. Pushti Marg, we're giving nourishment to that plant so it can grow. Into that discussion, we can also say there is one thing which can destroy the gardener's project. See, if I write here, transcendental gardener, yeah, gardener, yeah, or gardening, yeah, transcendental gardening. Especially in India, they know that there is one animal which can come into the garden and make complete havoc. What is that animal? Kangaroo. That's in Australia. Grasshopper. Okay. Okay, if you have a grasshopper, okay, I write that also. It may destroy something, yeah. But it's also something called weeds, yeah? Okay, I can write here insects, yeah. Instead of grasshopper, you can have all kinds of insects, yeah. Yeah, so all these things can be disturbing. So if we hear other philosophies, we subscribe to other, paths. We're a little bit, we take spiritual life as a smörgåsbord, we can go and pick a little here and there. If you like a special dish, we can take more of that. And there can be weeds. There can grow up some other things. And the weeds, they are very well known. They're, pride, desire for fame, like that. For fame, etc. Yeah. What's the insects? Well, that can be, you can just imagine what it be. But anyways, but the worst thing, what is the worst thing which can destroy completely? Have you heard about the elephant? Yeah? Have you seen the feet of an elephant? They are so big, they can just even step on a tree. They can destroy immediately the whole project. And it can be very, very difficult to build it up again. So elephant. Elephant, that is offenses to devotees. Yeah. And that's the worst destructor, yeah? Is that correctly written? Destructor? Yeah. Transcendental gardening or Bhakti Lata Beach. Or I just write Bhakti plant. Yeah. Yeah. So that's why this realization, we are getting realizations, but hand in hand we have to get rid of anarthas. Yeah. So I write that here. Get rid. Uproot anarthas, or just get rid of anarthas. So that's the main thing you need to do. importance of getting rid of anarthas. Yeah. And anarthas, they are obstacles. Yeah. Obstacles to bhakti. Yep. Now it should be more clear. Yeah. So we are doing transcendental gardening of the bhakti plant. And they are insects, they are weeds. The pride, desire for fame, bad association, you can say. That could be, the insects. Importance of getting rid of anarthas, obstacles to bhakti. That is there, that we have to guard against these things, and especially the elephant offense to the devotees. Because the elephant, if that comes into the garden, it destroys everything. Yeah. Yeah, any questions or comments?
Yes, what you're drawing I can see on YouTube, but I cannot see it on Zoom.
Yeah, I know. It's because it's a different unit. I have Zoom on my second phone here, but on YouTube I use my laptop. So I'm sorry for that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We will just read the rest of the text, because I don't think we read everything. Yeah. The last paragraph. Would you like to read it, Christopher Prabhu?
Yes, just the last part.
Yeah.
The completeness of human life can only be realized when the human form of life is engaged in the service of the complete whole. Any service in this world, whether social, political, communal, international, or even interplanetary, will remain incomplete unless and until it is dovetailed with the complete whole. And when everything is dovetailed with the complete whole, the attached parts and parcels also become complete in themselves.
Yeah, so we need to dwell on these utterances here. Let's see. So Prabhupada says, any service in this world, whether social, political, communal, international, or even interplanetary. So it may sound, like even science fiction, but Prabhupada is writing ahead for many thousand years, in the future. According to our scriptures, there is, life in the universe. Sometimes it's explained, the life on other planets is called adhyatmic. It's a life of the higher gods, so we may not be able to see them, because it's above the adibautic experience. Our level is adibautic, as jiva bhutas. We may not sense the life on the other planets, but that doesn't mean that maybe in the future there may be interaction. Who knows? Or maybe even there is already now, for what I know. Because of course the higher residents of higher planets, they can make themselves visible to us, although they can also hide themselves from us. They're more powerful. So what can we do? If they want to show themselves to us, they may do. And then we need to take this into account, that we may have service or exchanges, but they will still be incomplete unless we have God into the picture. That's a complete whole. That's God. So unless we have God into the picture of all our dealings, then it will not really be complete. In America, they put on the dollar bill, "In God we trust." Yeah, it's a very nice utterance. And similarly, in Hare Krishna also, we trust Krishna. So in that way, if we actually if we do our best as devotees, then we will do what is called dovetailing. Yep. Dovetailed. Yep. I'll write that here. Dovetail. Oh, wait. Tile. Yeah. Dovetail. Yeah. So what does that mean? Any ideas? What's the best, translation of that word?
In Norwegian, I thought it was svalhale.
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 Yeah, that doesn't say much though.
It's a carpentry, isn't it?
Carpentry, yeah. Yeah, it's something that you fit one thing into the other. Yeah. Connect, yeah. So if we write connect things, yeah? Can we say that? Is that a good working translation? Connect things. So we need to connect everything with the Lord. And what is another word for connection? Yes, you're right. Yoga. Isn't it? Yoga means yoga means actually, in one sense, it means two. Two became one, yeah. It's unification, yeah. Unify, that means yoga, yeah. So if we are in yoga, if we remember the Lord, we see the Lord in everything that's happening, and we connect everything to Him, we do everything as service to Him. Yad karoshi adashnashi. Tat karoshva matarpam, we do everything as an offering to me. Then we can dovetail everything in the whole world, yeah. And then, we can even, have interplanetary, international, communal, political, social, interactions, which are complete. Because can we say that yoga is not complete? Like the highest yoga, it's complete, right? So if you write that here, yoga, it means complete, right? Completed. Right? That means, you have unified. It became, one in that sense. That, it's the same purpose, it's the same, agenda, it's the same, in one sense, yoga is love, right?
Union.
Yeah, yoga is full union. Means love. Yeah. Yoga also entails, the meaning of love, actually. Like, if one is, if one is prepared to satisfy the Lord, yeah, then one will be in union with the Lord. Yeah? Does it make sense? Krishna says to Arjuna, Yoga kshema vahame aham, I will give you yoga. He says, if you just continue practicing, I will give you that yoga. And kshema, I will also, I'll protect you also. Yep. I'll protect whatever you have. Many places in the Gita, it's said the same thing, that, yoga, it really is, that state of being absorbed in the Lord's, will. Yeah. And all that goes back to dovetailing. So dovetail is also another word which you also can use, yukta vairagya. Although it says kind of a little bit more, or in a different way, but it also can be used. Yukta vairagya, see, that's given by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu. That's kind of where we start, yeah. So say we have a car. We may have bought that before we became devotees. Before we started, probably have a car. So now we became devotees, and we think this car, the company who made the car, they are asuras. They're not devotees. It was made in China. It was made in a bad mood. So I think this car is now impure. I will go and scrap this car. Or can I use it for the Lord? I can use it for the Lord, right? But you may say, hey, but Prabhu or Mataji, this is not, a very sattvic car. You should, use a better car. But then you can say, I don't have enough money to buy a better car. I know, it should be higher, should be nicer. But this is all I get at the moment. Is it wrong of me to use it? No, you can use it. And that will be then yukta vairagya. We just use, although we may like to have something better, but yukta. That's another, that can be also another, word for dovetail, actually. Yukta, yeah. Yukti, what is meaning of yukti? You are from India. If anybody from India here? Yukti. It also means to be,
Yukti means, means.
Means, yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever means you can use, the means to, say for example, the means to make an altar, you need nails. Nails, you need a hammer, you need wood. Yeah. So whatever means, I mean, you can find another word also if you like. Yeah. So whatever you need, whatever is needed, you can use that. Yeah. So that's part of Yukta Varaga. Whatever you need to use. So you can say, hey, Prabhu, taking the bus is not very, sattvic. It's better you walk to the temple. Yeah. But then you can say, but hey, I don't have time. I'm supposed to be in the temple in half an hour. I know it's more, better for environment than this if I go with my foot. But, just cool down. I will do it in the mood of Yukta Vairagya. Yeah. Whatever I need to do my seva as a, conditioned Nitya Bandha soul, I'm just a sorry case, I'm just attached, I'm weak. Let me use the bus. Don't stop me, I'm going on the bus now. Yeah. I'm doing Yukta Vairagya. Rupa Goswami has approved. Yeah. Of course, on a higher level, you may want to be like a sannyas and just walk.
I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Supposing someone is earning by unjust means,
yeah.
Is it good to use it for seva?
It's said that actually the sins we are doing, well, that is, bad karma. 100%. That's going to get so unfair means, we have done anything for unfair means, that will give you, the bad karma. Yep. So I can say,
uses that
but just let me continue. Seva. Just let me continue. I got your question. So say, for example, if I would take the bus, but I don't pay for going on the bus, yeah. So then that's unfair means, but I'm doing it for the service. So then some devotees can confront me. I saw hey Prabhu, hey Mataji, I saw you took the bus, but you didn't pay. Every day you're taking the bus to the temple, you do nice service in temple, that's fine. Krishna is happy, the devotees are happy, but you're doing bad unfair means. And then I will say, cool down, I'm doing Yukta Vairagya. But then the next day I will get a ticket from the controller, in the bus, and I will have to pay the fine. So if we do by unfair means, we will not escape the karma. Even as devotees, we shouldn't be in the cuckoo land and think that, whatever we do is okay because I'm a devotee. I'm sorry I have to say this, because this has been practice, this is practice when the devotee is still in ignorance, practicing devotional service from the mode of tamagun. In the higher gunas, one practices devotional service, one will not do the devotional service by unfair means. It's very, very important. Prabhupada said we should be really gentlemen. But as I said, it is possible, say for example, I could go to the temple and go for free on the bus without paying. It's possible, but it's not good, okay? And I will get a reaction for that. But you can say that the Lord doesn't stop it, or He may stop it later, It's up to the Lord. He may stop it or he may not. It's up to the sweet will of the Lord. It's according also to my karma, But at one point, one will get a reaction for that. So better we do it with fair means. Yeah. Better we should be complete gentlemen. And that doesn't only mean that we're dressing like the gentleman, as we was asking in the beginning. No, we have to also act internally and externally. Yeah. So a devotee, as Prabhupada said, should be the perfect gentleman. And that's actually the platform of a Brahmana. The Brahmana will be a very law-abiding citizen, will not make any trouble for others. We talk about being vegetarian as like a good thing, but it's not only to be a vegetarian. I'm sorry, it's not enough. It's also to be really pious, just as a platform. Yep. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, did we read actually the whole text?
I finished it for you.
Yeah. Very, very good. So, we could discuss more things here, but I would actually like to hear from you, because otherwise I could go on, but I would like to hear if you actually have some burning questions, Now I went back to the first page here, just to recap, The personality of God is perfect and complete, and because He is completely perfect, all emanations from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as a complete whole. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete by itself, and because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. So you cannot take anything away from Krishna. He is everything, in one sense. He can never be minimized by anything. Sometimes moralists, now I'm just talking about people who may not accept Krishna, they may say, Krishna, he had 18,000 wives. But that's polygamy, That's not nice, Krishna should just have one wife. But, Krishna is God, he can do that. We may not copy, but when Krishna is doing that, it is okay. Yeah? He's just showing that he is the supreme. And he did something that also we cannot copy. He was expanding himself into 18,000 copies of himself. No, 16,000, sorry. 16,108. Yeah. So he was one Krishna and he expanded himself into 16,108. And he even expanded the palaces. So he had one palace for each queen. Yeah. So you think the queens were happy? Each 16,100 queen were very happy. If we would try to do the same, if we would try to marry 16,108 queens, we would have to, run back and forth through all these different, palaces. Catastrophic, 100%. You couldn't even have 1 minute with each queen. The queens would be fried and we would also be fried. So that's why we cannot compare ourselves, Our morality cannot compare to the supreme morality. It said that whatever he do is complete and perfect. Even he's killing somebody on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna, he was, even, engaged. But when Krishna killed somebody, were they suffering? Those Krishna killed, what happened to them? They got liberated. Because, who did they look at when they were killed? They looked at Krishna. So if you look at God when you're killed, where will you go? To God. Yeah. So that's a little, a little theory of evolution here now, that it said actually that the insects, they're looking at another insect when they die. Say, for example, you have a small bug, he's killed by the spider. So he's looking at the spider when he dies. Which body will he get next life? Spider body. Yeah. And human beings, they are together with dogs. The dog is so much together with the human. So who do you think the dog will meditate upon when he dies? The dog. The dog will look at the human. He will think, I had such a nice master. He was always meditating on his master. So when the dog dies, he will think of the human being, and then he becomes a human being in his next life. However, if we are, the master of a dog, and we fall in love with the dog, and we are dying, and the dog is there, licking our face when we die, we may actually meditate on the dog, and we become a dog. Yeah, but there is no problem. If we were a devotee, we were chanting Hare Krishna, we will become the dog in the family of devotees. That's a great position. So there's no problem at all. That's very nice, because we want to be humble, We can be a humble dog of the devotees. Yeah. So, but it just shows, that evolution is going on according to our association and according to also what we do. But if we link with a complete person, then our life will definitely go in the direction of being complete also. Yeah. Any doubts about this? Yeah. What? Cat in the next life. You have a cat at home?
No, but I will have before I hope. I like it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So what do you think, Prabhu? That doesn't make sense. Yeah. I don't know if it was mentioned here, but you have many people who just wants to, become Brahman, or just merge with the Brahman. I could write that here also, because we have that clear. I'll write that on the YouTube. They're called Mayavadis. Yeah. So let's just write Brahman. Yeah. Yeah. And then you have two types of Brahman adherents. They're called Mayavadis. But those we have most heard from Prabhupada's books. Yeah. And then the other one is Brahmavadis. Yeah. So I just want to hear, anybody has some idea what is Mayavadis? In a nutshell.
I heard from you explain the word.
Yeah.
Maya. It's like everything is Maya. Everything is Maya.
Exactly. So they also say that this whole creation is mithya or false. Yeah. So you can write that. Everything. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Everything is Maya. Yeah. They have a few thing called Mahavakyas or utterances. Mahavakya. So I can give a couple of Mahavakyas. So one of them is Brahma Satyam. Jagan Mithya. Yeah. Means what is true. Brahma is true. Yeah. Brahman. That's what they want to achieve. Yeah? And Jagan, the Jagat, or the universe, that is false. Yeah. False. Yeah. So they say everything is Maya, or in other words, everything is false. Yeah. Okay, so let's erase that and look at the Brahmavadis. What does the Brahmavadis say? Do they have similar slogans, or?
I thought they said something like everything is Brahma.
Everything is Brahman, exactly. You're completely correct. Very nice. Everything is Brahma. Yeah, so instead of saying everything is Maya, they say everything is Brahma. It's actually an upgrade. It's better. Because it's actually not wrong even. It's just one step on the ladder, yeah? Because everything we see here, we experience here in material, is Brahman. Brahman is the energy of the Lord. So that's very good. And what's the shloka for that one? I forgot, but there is a verse which sums that up very nicely. Anyway, I forgot, but it's there. They also have a nice shloka for that. Yeah. Everything is Brahma.
Are they also a little bit, into this uniformity?
No. What is uniformity?
Uniformity, homogeneity, like a homogeneous?
Homogeneous, yeah. Yeah. So that's where they are blocked, yeah. But if they continue, yeah, they can come after that. Then they can come down and get to Paramatma. Yeah. How do you get there? By sadhu sangha. Yeah. So they can come from Brahma realization to Paramatma realization by sadhu sangha, and then of course to Bhagavan also. After that,
So this progression of Brahma to Paramatma to Bhagavan,
yeah.
For a spiritually inclined, for a spiritualist, one who's inclined to self-realization, this is natural progress, right?
Yeah. So in that way, actually, to be honest, we all go through this. Because how do we come to the spiritual life? Usually we all we realize everything is spiritual. I am spirit. I am the soul. Yeah. Usually we have such a spiritual awakening. Yeah. I can even write that here. Before everything is Brahma, one can just realize, I am Brahma, yeah? Aham Brahmasmi, yeah? Yeah, that was the one. Aham Brahmasmi. Aham Brahma Asmi, yeah, just to make it clear. It means I am Brahman, yeah? And then there is another verse saying everything is Brahman, which I don't remember here now. Yeah. But it starts actually just understanding I am spirit. Yeah. And this homogeneous stage, it doesn't need to last that long, because immediately when you go to Paramatma, then you get, the understanding that everything is not completely one, because, Paramatma is there and he's different. Yeah. There's a difference between Paramatma and us. Yeah. So I can write that here. Difference between P and J. Yep. So difference between Paramatma and Jiva. Yep. Does it make sense? That's Paramatma realization. But in the Brahma realization, everything is actually homogeneous. So that's why we have to continue. Yeah. But the Mayavadis, they are having the theory that actually they openly are proclaiming that Paramatma and Bhagavan is part of Maya. Yeah. So they're blocking, they're blocking the progress. But Brahmavadis are not doing that. For example, the four Kumaras, they didn't block, the fact that Lord Vishnu was different from them. They accepted, here's Lord Vishnu, we never saw him before. They even just tasted, they smelled, the lotus, feet of the Lord with tulsi flowers, with tulsi, leaves. They had an experience. And then they immediately came to Paramatma realization and then Bhagavan realization. So simply with some good sadhu sangha, with sadhu sangha. So simply Brahmavadis, they have a little bit of good sangha, then they will get Paramatma realization. However, Mayavadis, those who are actually Mayavadis, very hard-hearted, they can also get actually realization by associating with devotees, but usually, we can take the Mayavadis here, right here. They take bhakti as path to, bhakti as, anga of impersonal realization, yeah. Bhakti as means for oneness realization. Yeah. They take. Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing that Mayavadis do.
Can I explain that part?
Yeah.
What happened with my father? Even in association. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll get there. What was the question?
What happened with my life, even when they have the association? What happened?
Yes. So Mayavadis, they can associate with devotees,
Yes.
but if they are very into Mayavadism, they will take that association with devotees as just another means or method for oneness realization. So in other words, they can chant Hare Krishna, they can do all these things, bhakti. They often you can see Mayavadis, they like bhakti. But they want to get oneness. They want to get a realization of mukti, merging with Brahman. They really want that, and they're not they're not hiding that. They're saying that openly. And bhakti is just one of the methods they can use. They can use Ashtanga yoga, they can use Jnana yoga, Karma yoga, or Bhakti yoga. They use everything just to get that realization of Mayavadi. So in that way, preachers or devotees who like to spread the message, they are often very careful with when they see that people have these Mayavadi tendencies. They may choose to not use more time to try and cultivate them because they see that actually they're not actually interested in becoming devotees. They just want to be liberated. But Brahmavadis, however, they are open for that, for becoming devotees. Just like any devotee first realize Brahman and then Paramatma and then Bhagavan. Yeah. Does it make clear? To Brahmavadi, one want to realize everything. Yeah, I'm Brahman and everything is Brahman. But then, after some time, one realize something called Achinta Bheda Veda. Beda, abeda. Yeah. Yeah. So that thing has to be realized, Achinta beda beda. So that means beda means different, and abeda means not different. So at the same time different and not different. Yeah. We can get more into that later also, because that's the core of our Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy actually, which distinguish our philosophy from the other spiritual philosophies. Yeah. One and different.
Excuse me.
At the same time.
I was just wondering about this. Achinta, what did you say that mean? Inconceivable? Or
Inconceivable,
was it,
yeah. Yes.
What was it?
Achinta means inconceivable. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I have space to write this here. Inconceivable. Yeah. Yeah. See here, lots of space. I wrote it here. Yeah. Inconceivable, one and different at the same time. Yeah. So in that way, well, actually, then we couldn't see the other notes. Okay, I go down again. Yeah. Okay. So in that way, Brahman is not wrong. There's nothing wrong with Brahman. Brahman is very good. The realization of Brahman will mean we realize ourselves, as a spirit. We realize even our spiritual potential, what we're able to do. Out of frustration, a living entity actually wants to get, liberated from everything. It's because of not having any positive experience, right? Or to believe that actually the experience is greater in not being, active. According to Prabhupada, in his commentary, he says that this is actually out of frustration, that one wants this kind of voidism. But if one starts practicing Bhakti Yoga, when one is getting, experience of bliss. Yeah. So one immediately gets some taste of that Bhagavan Shakti. It's also called, the Svarup Shakti of the Lord. It contains, Satchit and Ananda. In another sense, that's called Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit. Three and potencies of the Lord, of Krishna. So Ladini is the pleasure potency. Sandini is the existential potency, and Samvit is the knowledge potency. So that's another way of saying, Satchitananda. So when one takes to devotional service, one gets some glimpses of this, and one sees that this is better than being, to emerge as an impersonalist. Yeah. But it is true, as Mataji said very early on, the main thing about Bhagavan realization is the Ananda, because that's the last addition. Yeah. In Paramatma you have Sat and Chit, in Brahman you just have Sat. But Ananda is the main thing. That's also called Ananda Maya, Kosha. So this has also been, very often, misunderstood. Since we have some time, I can give you the whole Kosha theory even. Why not? Because it all tallies with what we discussed. So you have, Kosha theory. So the 5 Kosha theory. So it starts with Anna. I'll just write it quickly. Anna, and then you have Prana, Mana, Vijnana, and then Ananda. Yeah. Yeah. So first you have, you realize. Actually, it's not really a realization. It's just eat, sleep, mate, defend. So it's like animal platform. It's an Annamaya Korsha. So you can say Jiva Korsha. Yeah. So the Jiva, as an Atman, we're covered by this. We need to eat, right? It's a covering, okay? Because does the soul need to eat? No. But with this covering over ourselves, we need to eat. It's the Annamaya Korsha. So that's like basic thing with all living entities. Even the insects, they cannot read books, they cannot think very much about anything, but that they know, right? They need to eat. Yeah, they need to take care of themselves. It's just survival skill. And then Pranamaya Kosha, then it's a little bit higher. It can be explained better, but I just give a gross explanation. So say, for example, I'm eating, but then I start looking myself in the mirror and I think, I can become a strong person. Yeah, I can build up my prana. I can have a nice health. I can go to train my body, and I can start running, lifting weights. I can take care of my prana. Yeah, a little bit higher. Yeah, it's not just survival. It's about myself and about others also. Start caring to share the food with others. A little bit higher. Yeah. And then you have Manamaya Korsha. Now we really, that's the human platform proper. Because now the mind is coming into play, and then have all arts, philosophy, and then then mental speculation is going in high gear. Artists, they can create all kinds of things, and you have poetry, books. Now you're making a meaning, right? Now you have a purpose of your existence, whatever it may be. The belief of God is coming there, everything. However, it's still on the mundane platform, because on that platform you just want to, go to heaven. That's maximum. Yeah. Not even becoming actually liberated from material world. At that platform, just heaven is biggest goal. Does it make sense? Now, Vijnana Maya Korsha, this is really the platform of the transcendentalist. Yeah. So the transcendentalist is doing one main, observance. That is the difference between spirit and matter. So that's also the same level as the Brahmavadis. Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Now I have a problem. I'm in the material world. I want to get mukti. Yeah. So that's you can say the level we all starting from when we enter spiritual life is the Vijnanamaya. But now is the last one, Anandamaya. This is actually the goal. We want to practice spiritual life so that we get completely over to the spiritual side, to Sat. Yes. Asatuma Satgamaya. Don't go to the Asat, don't go to the material things. But go to the Sat, go to the eternal. Why? Because we will get Ananda. Yeah, we get bliss there. Yeah. Why should we chant Hare Krishna? Just because of getting liberated? No, it's because of giving bliss. Yeah. Say if we chant Hare Krishna and we don't feel any bliss, then it may be because we did anarthas, we have aparadas or whatever. But if we think, this is, then we may go back, to Vijnanamaya, and we just want to be liberated. Yeah. And we may even think that Ananda is just an illusion. Yeah. So that's what Mayavadis think. They think this Ananda is a part of the illusion. They think that the Jiva has this covering of Ananda. They think this is also not good. I just want the Jiva to be free, right? You should have no korsha, no covering. So what do you have left then? You just have, a Jiva, just existing. The Jiva needs to have something. Understand? This Anandamaya Korsha is the same as the Swarup Shakti of the Lord. It's coming in and taking us into the spiritual world. So the Jiva needs to have something. That's the point. The Jiva is never independent. Either the Jiva has Vijnanamaya Korsha, Manamaya Korsha, Pranamaya Korsha, Annamaya Korsha, and is engaged with these things in the material world. When it comes to Anandamaya Korsha, it's actually free, and then it's engaging with, the spiritual bliss of Krishna. Yeah. And that's, Anandamaya Korsha is then, the rasas. It comes from there. Yeah. That comes after, or it's part of that, the development of that. So that's really the demarcation line, between material and spiritual, is this. Anandamaya Kosha. Yeah. So now we can understand the difference between Mayavadis and personalists, devotees, because they think just get rid of all this. Yeah. They think, Anamaya, big X, I don't want this. I don't want Pranamaya, I don't want Manamaya. I don't want Vijnanamaya. Yeah. Right? We want to cross out all this. So far we are agreeing. We're agreeing all the way. All these four is okay for us also. We don't want to, be covered by all this. We want to have a spiritual, existence. That's okay. But they want to cross out also the Ananda. But if you cross out that, if you cross out Ananda, guess what? You also cross out the rasas. There'll be no spiritual, relationships with Krishna. So Krishna is not even allowing me to cross out rasa here. Yeah. So that's why we don't cross out Ananda. We keep that one. Yeah. Is it clear? The devotees on Zoom?
Yes. It's like love is pain.
Oh, we got a question there. Sorry, it was a question. Is it a long time ago? We got that? No. Oh, it's half an hour ago. It was BB who sent the question. Can we say attachment of mind to Krishna is also dovetail yoga union? Yes. The answer is yes. Sorry, what did you say, Christopher Prabhu?
No, nothing. It's just an assessment of the Mayavadi philosophy, I guess.
What do they say?
I suppose they think everything is Maya, and Maya is supposed to be a little painful.
Painful, yeah. That, you see, Mayavadi is coming from Buddhism. In the Buddhist doctrine, now we have Matarishi, everything about Buddhism. They say that life is pain, yeah?
Yes.
That's one of the tenets of Buddhism. Everything is pain, yeah. So to get rid of pain, you have to get rid of all this, asa trishna, the thirst after the temporary. Huh?
It's a nirvana, right?
Yeah, you're going to get nirvana,
right?
yeah. Just stop everything. You cut out the Anamaya, cut out the Pranamaya, Manamaya, Vijnanamaya. Yeah? You cut everything away, yeah. So I'm lucky we're not into that here. Because then we wouldn't have Prasadam today also.